Hello, and welcome to the Lightworker Diaries, a space for reflection, truth-telling, and soulful remembering. My name is Tiffany, and I am a truth teller, a mystic, and a mirror. These are transmissions from my heart to yours, an archive of channeled wisdom, lived stories, and the real work of becoming. May something in here stir something in you. Hello, my friend. Where do I even begin? If you haven't been following along on Instagram or Threads or Facebook or on Substack, heck, if this is the first time you're hearing about this, I have fallen in love. And it's with poetry of all things. Oh my gosh, this is insanity. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it for me. If this is the first time you're hearing about it, I have been a writer since college, 25 years. I don't know. I used to be an accountant. I don't like to do math, but I have been a writer for a very, very long time. And I have always resisted poetry because I'm also an avid rule follower. And I was afraid that poetry had too many rules for me to get it right. And for that reason, I avoided it like the plague. And the interesting thing is I was talking to a massage therapist at one point, and I was telling her, and she's like, well, you write poetry, right? And I was like, no, actually, I don't. I'm like very intimidated by poetry. And I told her exactly what I just told you. I don't write poetry because I'm afraid I'm going to get it wrong. And she's like, that's the beauty of poetry. You can't get it wrong. And I remember hearing that, and it broke my brain because I was like, huh? No. You and I are obviously not talking about the same style of writing because that's just, like I said, it broke my brain. And so on April 1st, and stay with me here if you've heard this story, on April 1st, I was waiting for my magnet machines to arrive, and I thought, they'll be here very soon. What if I just gave myself a little fun creative project to do in the meantime? And so I took my Remarkable, I went out to my favorite coffee shop on the pier in Astoria, and I was sitting there and I was half writing, half channeling. And it was brought to my awareness how much I love year-long projects. I love them. I love to see what I'm capable of, and I love to see the trajectory of that over an extended period of time. I've worked with several coaches, healers, a shaman. My favorites are the ones that I get to spend an entire year with them and see what the full trajectory of our work is together. A 1-month sprint, yeah, that's cool. Give me 12 months, fucking let's play. So my first year-long project was probably 18 years ago. Project 365 was trending. I think Instagram was just a baby in the world. And I decided I was going to do a photography project. And so I took my DSLR camera everywhere. I carried it in my purse for an entire year. And I took photos every single day, and I would post at least one on my Instagram. The thing that I learned in that year was the beauty of the world that surrounds you when you actually slow down to experience it. One memory that's coming to mind that I can paint clear as day for you. I was living in Grand Rapids, Michigan at the time, and I had a condo in the historic district. And so I would walk to work every day. I worked downtown, and I was walking, and I turned the corner, and this person was walking in front of me that looked like real life Rainbow Bright. Rainbow striped socks, thigh high, white dress, pigtails in multicolors. I was beside myself with the magic of this being because it was so unlike anything in my world. I was walking in my business casual, the pumps in my purse, sneakers on so I could get there without, blistering my feet, hair perfectly coiffed, hoping that I could walk fast enough to get there, but not too fast to start sweating. because I didn't want to get armpit stains. You get it, right? And here was this magical, bliss-filled being in Technicolor. I'm walking behind her in a gray striped suit, feeling like a lump. But I pull out my camera and I take a photo, and that was what helped me realize how much magic surrounds you, how much color, pattern, texture, excitement, synchronicity, beauty is in this world. And so fast forward, bring you back to the coffee shop. As I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about my photography project. And I was like, do I want to carry my camera around again? Maybe I could just do it with my phone. Do I want to do something like that? And the word landed on the page with such a thud that I put my pencil down. Poetry. I stared. It stared back. I stared longer. It stared even longer. Poetry. And so I sat back in my chair and I thought to myself, well, maybe. And then I went on Claude because, like I said, I don't know shit about poetry. And I said, Claude, what can you teach me about poetry? If I were to start a year-long poetry project, what would I need to know to be good at it? Right? Standard typical type A overachiever. And so it gives me some information. And some of it was very typical writer information that I was like, yep, right to the verb, got it, da-da-da. But some of it was very surprising, like just write from your heart. And I was like, okay. I'm a little apprehensive. And Claude responded, why don't you just do 30 days? And I was like, oh, it's cute. You can tell we just met and you don't know me well yet. But yeah, I mean, maybe you can always go longer, right? You can always just keep going. You don't have to stop because you did 30 days. You could decide on day 31 that you're going to do another 30 days or another 5 days or just another day. So I said, you know what? You're right. We'll start with 30 days. Let's figure out if I like poetry and we'll go from there. And so I wrote my first poem, sitting there with my coffee, and posted it. And I had this intuition, this divine inspiration to one, post on Instagram, but two, to post on Threads. And I haven't posted on Threads in probably well over a year, maybe 18 months. And I was like, I'm just going to post it there too. And then as I was looking through the feed a little bit, just kind of what's the vibe here these days? I saw somebody post Happy Poetry Month. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I looked it up. In fact, April is National Poetry Month. And I did not know that, but now I do. And I am so freaking excited about it because not only am I learning poetry, but there are a ton of people writing poetry and sharing poetry. So I can see it and live it and learn alongside all these other people who are doing it too. And as you've heard me say, I can be a little uptight. I can get a little serious. And so this idea of being an absolute beginner at something has actually been really freeing for me. And I've gone through, you might also know I'm a 3-5 projector. And so that 3 in my profile means I fail a lot. I learn a lot really quickly because I'm willing to make mistakes really quickly. And that's exactly what I've been doing for the last 14 days. I've had Claude give me prompts. I've written from the heart. I have asked people on social media to give me their astrology sun sign, and I've pulled tarot cards for them and then written them a poem. I have picked up my very first poetry books. Just got those yesterday. Really excited about them. So I'm starting to read about poetry. I'm starting to follow other poets. And it's this beautiful, just like running into Rainbow Bright decades ago, realization that there is so much magic and beauty in this world. And all you have to do is decide you want to be a part of it. All you have to do is decide. And so I share this with you because, one, It's never too late to start. If you want to start Poetry Month today, wonderful. Welcome. Welcome to the movement. I'm glad you're here. If you're already writing poetry, please do me a favor and drop your links down in the comments below, or if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, come find me on socials at Tiffany Marlink or at Lightworker Diaries. I want to follow along. I want to be a part of your journey, and I hope you'll choose to be a part of mine too, because this is fun. This is a lot of fun. I also want to share with you, because this is very alive for me right now, I'm hosting a free writing circle on Thursday, April 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. And the intention of this circle is to give people a space to come and write together in community. I will do a creativity activation. If you didn't already know this, I have apprenticed with a shaman. I am a priestess by nature, Reiki energy work, all the things. I love doing energetic activations for people. And so we're going to do a creativity activation at the beginning to really get the energy flowing. It'll be a clearing and an activation. And then you'll have silent creativity time. And I've chosen to say creativity because I've also invited some people who are artists as opposed to writers. They express themselves through a different form, but it's still creativity and I still love it. So if you want to come and watercolor during our silent creativity time, more power to you. If you want to write poetry, novella, if you just want to journal, whatever would make your heart sing, bring it, let's play with it. At the end, we'll do a little group share that will be optional if you would like an opportunity to let your voice be heard or express your art in some way. We'll have an opportunity to do that. So I will share a link in the show notes. It is a free writing circle. Please share this with your creative besties. I really, really, really think this is going to be something fun, and I would love to have you be there and be a part of it. So back to my poetry. I was also listening to, every once in a while, some of my old stuff. My algorithm is all poetry right now, and I'm loving it. But every once in a while, some of my old algorithm pops in. So Alex Hermosi popped in the other day, and he was talking about being cringe. And he's like, when you're just getting started, just be cringe. That's just part of the process. Accept it, embrace it, move on. And I was like, what's interesting is that's exactly where I am. I am in my poetry cringe era. I know the poems that I'm putting out there are not phenomenal, but they're written and they're published. And to be honest, that's a huge step. That's a huge step a lot of people don't even do. I'm willing to put it out there and look like a terrible poet while I'm learning, because that's the whole point of learning. That's the whole point. You grow by practicing. You learn by taking action. So I'm sharing this with you too, because whether you decide to share your poetry or not, whether you even decide to pick poetry, don't have to. Choose an art, something that is a creative expression of you, something that brings you joy, and go all in on it. Do it every day, purely for the joy of it. For the longest time, the only thing that I lived and breathed was my work. That defined me. My career defined me. My titles defined me. And it sucked the life out of me. It has taken lots of healing and conscious focus for me to realize that there is so much more to life than work. And the more that I allow my creativity to be set free into this world, the happier I am, even when it sucks. I shared a poem in the morning that I wrote a couple days ago. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to read this and I'm going to do it as a reel, and somebody can see me doing my spoken poetry, and this will be fun. And then I read the poem and I was like, this doesn't work. This doesn't make sense. Who was I this morning? What was I drinking? I thought it was coffee, but I'm questioning myself, right? That's the beauty of being a beginner. It doesn't have to work out every time. I learned something about myself. We don't look at little kids while they're playing make-believe and say, you did it wrong. We applaud them for their curiosity, for their innocence. So let this be a time of curiosity and innocence. Let this be a time that you set your heart free onto this world. Be a force. Change the vibration of every room that you walk into, even if the only room is your daughter's bedroom. She needs you. She needs you as the fullest expression of yourself. They need you as the fullest expression of yourself. We all need you as the fullest expression of yourself. I truly hope that I will get to see you on Thursday. And also, totally okay if that's not your jam. Maybe we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Lightworker Diaries. If something stirred in you today, take a breath and let it land. To go deeper, you can subscribe to the written diaries on Substack. You'll find a link in the show notes. Until next time, be true to you.